Remember when adverts weren't just adverts? They were part of life. The jingles, the catchphrases, the characters, they stayed with us long after the telly was switched off. Today we're bringing back 10 classics every Brit still knows by heart. Let's see how many you can still hum along to. Let's start with a true classic. The R. White's lemonade advert, better known as the secret lemonade drinker. Even if you haven't thought about it in years, I bet the jingle just popped into your head. A man creeping down the stairs in his pajamas, sneaking into the fridge for that one guilty pleasure, a cold glass of lemonade. It was cheeky, relatable, and brilliantly simple. Who hasn't snuck into the kitchen late at night for a secret snack? That bass line and the whispered confession turned a fizzy drink into an anthem. It ran through the 70s and 80s, becoming a national joke, a shared wink between families. To this day, if someone says secret lemonade drinker, people of a certain age instantly smile. That's not just advertising. That's a memory woven into the soundtrack of everyday life. Before James Bond stole the limelight, we had our very own action hero, the milk tray man. Picture it. A man in black, scaling cliffs, diving into oceans, dodging danger with one mission, to deliver a purple box of chocolates. All because the lady loves milk tray. The tagline alone was enough to make every woman swoon and every man dream of being that mysterious figure. Each advert was like a little movie premiere. 60 seconds of romance, adventure, and sophistication. For kids watching, it was the thrill of the stunts. For adults, it was the glamour and romance. And let's be honest, it worked. Milk tray became more than chocolate. It became a symbol of daring love. Even now, decades later, just hearing those words makes people nod knowingly, remembering a time when giving chocolates felt like the grandest gesture in the world. From romance to pure comedy genius. For MASH, get smash. The moment you say it, you can hear the robotic cackle in your head. Those metallic aliens looking down at humans, baffled that anyone would still mash their own potatoes. It was a stroke of brilliance. They laughed at us, but we laughed with them. It was British humour at its best, self-deprecating, cheeky, and memorable. The Smash aliens became so popular they practically overshadowed the product itself, and yet everyone wanted that red box of instant mash. This was advertising that didn't just sell, it entertained. It gave us a catchphrase still quoted decades later. And really, isn't that the mark of true success? An everyday food product turned into a cultural phenomenon, thanks to a few silly robots with a contagious laugh. Not every advert needed a jingle to stick in our minds. Some touched us in quieter, more lasting ways. The Yellow Pages advert with J.R. Hartley was one of those rare gems. An elderly man, soft-spoken and polite, wanders from bookshop to bookshop in search of Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. Each "no sorry" he receives is gentle but tinged with sadness, and we all felt for him. Then, finally, he picks up the Yellow Pages, makes a call, and his face lights up when he hears, "Yes, we've got it." The twist? It's his own book. That moment of quiet pride and joy made viewers' hearts swell. It wasn't selling a fizzy drink or a chocolate bar, but connection. The reassurance that what you're looking for can be found. Even now, J.R. Hartley's name is shorthand for something nostalgic, gentle, and deeply British. Some adverts didn't just sell chocolate, they shouted it. Literally. The TRIIIOOO advert is burned into every 80s kid's brain with that unforgettable drawn-out cry, "TRIIIOOO!" The star was a cheeky little animated character who always demanded a trio bar with all the urgency of a playground chant. And who could blame her? Chocolate, biscuit, and toffee. It felt bigger and bolder than your average bar. What made it legendary wasn't just the taste, it was the jingle. You couldn't walk through a school playground in the 80s without someone yelling TRIIIOOO at the top of their lungs, usually followed by half the class joining in. It was part sweet, part cultural phenomenon. Even now, decades later, all it takes is one mention of the word and that earworm jingle is right back in your head. Proof that sometimes the loudest adverts are the ones we never forget. And then there was Honey Monster. Huge, furry, with a booming voice and a catchphrase every kid could quote. "Tell him about the honey, mummy." He looked a little scary at first, like something out of a monster film, but his childlike enthusiasm made him lovable. Honey Monster didn't just sell cereal, he became part of British childhood. He was bigger than life, a cartoon character brought into the real world, stomping through kitchens and grabbing bowls of sugar puffs with wide-eyed glee. Kids adored him. Parents rolled their eyes but smiled, and the line itself became playground gold. So popular was Honey Monster that he even had his own single in the charts. Looking back, he was a masterstroke, turning a box of breakfast cereal into a superstar moment in every family's morning routine. Few adverts could get stuck in your head like this one. Jenny Logan dancing around the living room, vacuum cleaner in hand, belting out, "Do the shake and vac and put the freshness back." It was ridiculous, over the top, and utterly unforgettable. The song turned a boring household chore into something fun. Kids copied the dance, mums hummed it while cleaning, and dads rolled their eyes but still remembered every word. That's the genius of it. The product itself was secondary. What people actually remembered was the joy, the music, the cheeky grin on Jenny Logan's face. Even today, if someone hums a few notes, half the room will instinctively join in. It's proof that advertising doesn't need explosions or big stunts. Sometimes all it takes is a catchy tune and a bit of charm to lodge itself permanently in our brains. The Milkybars are on me. With that single line, the Milkybar Kid became a hero for generations of British children. Dressed like a cowboy, blonde hair under his hat, glasses perched on his nose, he strode into every scene with courage and kindness. He wasn't just giving away chocolate, he was rewarding bravery, fairness and friendship. Kids wanted to be him, parents smiled at the wholesome message, and the advert gave white chocolate an air of adventure. The jingle was uplifting, the message simple, and the character so iconic that he became part of playground make-believe. For many, hearing that line instantly brings back the excitement of childhood trips to the sweet shop. The Milkybar Kid wasn't just selling chocolate, he was showing us what it meant to be the hero of the story, and that's why he lasted decade after decade. Advertising in the 80s loved glamour, and nothing captured it better than Cinzano Bianco with Leonard Rossiter and Joan Collins. Every advert followed the same formula: Joan, elegant and composed, trying to enjoy a glass of Cinzano. Rossiter, bumbling and awkward, somehow managed to spill it all over her. The beauty of it wasn't just the slapstick, it was the contrast. Joan was sophistication itself, while Rossiter represented every clumsy Brit trying to impress and failing miserably. The timing was flawless, the expressions priceless, and the running gag became legendary. What made it stick was that balance between aspiration and humour. Yes, it was advertising a drink associated with style and class, but it never took itself too seriously. To this day, the image of Joan Collins drenched in Cinzano is one of the most enduring memories of 80s television advertising. For almost 50 years, the PG Tips Chimps ruled British television. Dressed in human clothes, dubbed with voices from famous comedians, they were the tea-drinking stars of a campaign that outlasted entire generations. Who could forget the classic line, "Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot?" followed by, "You hum it, son, I'll play it." Families quoted it around the dinner table, kids acted it out in the playground, and the Chimps became household names. They weren't just selling tea, they were part of the family. The humour was gentle, timeless, and quintessentially British. When the campaign finally ended, it felt like the end of an era. PG Tips had managed something no other brand really matched, turning a simple cup of tea into a cultural touchstone, wrapped in laughter and nostalgia. For many, those chimps will forever be linked to the comforting clink of a teacup. And there we have it, 10 adverts that shaped a generation. They weren't just commercials, they were little stories woven into our childhoods, our evenings in front of the telly, our family routines. They remind us that sometimes, the smallest things leave the biggest marks. Which one lingers in your memory? Share your story in the comments, because nostalgia is best when it's shared.